Hello, I'm Beverly's grandson Luke, and it's an honor to be here speaking. Myself and my cousin Jamie just have a few things we'd like to share with you all. So, when I think about the lasting impressions my grandmother left on me, there are a few things that instantly come to mind. One is her bright blue eyes that always seemed to convey encouragement and admiration, as if she were constantly wishing the best for me with every gaze. Another is the sound of her voice when I would arrive at her front door. After knocking, she would see me and say, "Well, hello, dear." Come in with a sweet and excited tone, and I can still hear those inviting words and will miss them. The most prominent, though, are my memories of the numerous cards that she and Grandpa gave me over the years. Her writing would sometimes fill two sides of the card, and if she really had a lot to say, the cursive words would get so small that I almost needed a magnifying glass to read them. Often they would be supportive messages accompanied with relevant scripture. I think about how she must have written similarly to so many others as well. Aunts, uncles, cousins, friends. And in between the lines of her testaments of devotion, I see a common thread, a tremendous amount of love. In a recent birthday card she wrote, she said, "I pray that God will keep you safe in all your travels, and that He will bless you richly. I love you so much. Always and forever, Grandma." I'm forever grateful to have had such an inspiring example of thoughtfulness and warmth throughout my life, and I am equally grateful that so many others did as well.
So I and several of my siblings and cousins had the gift of having my grandmother as a kindergarten teacher, and it was definitely a formative experience. I remember early on she had to break me out of running to the front of the class and giving her a hug every few minutes. It was problematic for her because she loved giving hugs, but she had to make sure that everybody was sitting down and in their place and following directions. She was very methodical, and her classroom was orderly. And I still remember the jingles, so many jingles that she had us sing. I remember Mr. Careful. Mr. Careful definitely did not run. Mr. Careful, kept his hands to himself. And so a lot of those experiences of learning phonics and learning to read definitely influenced me as I chose to become an English teacher, and I'm teaching high school English now, so definitely a legacy of loving to read and loving kids that she passed on. I am particularly impressed by her ability to see children, especially really young children, and this is something that very few people can do, to actually listen to a young child and see the little person that they are and their potential. She loved to listen intently, and kids know when adults are kind of listening and when they're really intently listening, and she had the ability to really listen and understand. So I also remember, as part of her huge group of grandkids, all of the holiday celebrations. She loved Christmas, she loved Easter, and she was probably really annoyed that she didn't stick around to celebrate Easter with us this year, because that was one of her favorites. I wore pink today to honor her, and I remember she loved all the Easter colors, and she loved making holidays special, partly because I think she really enjoyed the sense of childlike wonder and excitement that went along with some of the holidays, and she especially loved to share the Christmas story and the Easter story with children and with her family at those times. I remember her handmade stuffed toys she made us. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I remember Luke and Baby got in lots of trouble when we were like really little. She remembered the time when we learned how to roller skate. We kept falling down, and she was laughing. She thought that was hilarious. We kept trying to get up and keep skating, so that was one of her
I
memories.
think one of us figured out if we just got in the grass, we wouldn't keep falling down.
Yes, yes. So she enjoyed being a grandma. She enjoyed being a great grandma. She delighted when one of us learned how to read independently, and she just was so excited to see that happen. I think it was Kyle and Trevor that were caught cleaning the toilet with the toothbrush. Is that them? Yeah. So we got in lots of trouble at Grandma's house. We got in the dress-up box and dressed each other up in all kinds of fantastical outfits. And then my kids, the great-grandkids, did that as well later on when they were at her house. So she loved things that were full of imagination and play and made everything so much fun. And I know she enjoyed spending time with her family and her grandkids especially. So I'm going to close by just showing you this book. I bought this for her at 19, and I think I thought, hey, there's Thomas Kincaid on the cover. It says grandmother, slam dunk, and I gave it to her as a gift. But I didn't really realize that it's over 100 pages of journaling, basically writing about her childhood and her life and all these things. And after she passed, I got it out and just cried and enjoyed all the memories that she left. So my husband and I made copies of it for all the grandkids and the siblings if they want one, because I'm sure this took hours of her to fill out. And she handed it back to me in 2 years, and my 21-year-old college self was like, cool. But I didn't really realize how valuable it was. So I'm going to read this last thing. It's titled, The Best Thing About Being Your Grandmother. I love being your grandma because you are so very special. I can always count on you for a nice warm hug, which I love. And I especially love hearing you say, I love you. I think these are the important things that keep me going. Always remember that you are very important to me, and I love you very much. Always and forever, your grandma.